Iraq News highlights and points to ponder Thursday AM October 17, 24. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. They brought in about $4 billion. Iran receives more than 4 million tourists, led by Iraq, in 6 months. Wednesday, October 16, 2024. Tezir al-Asadi, the Iranian Ministry of Tourism, revealed today, Wednesday, that Iraq topped the list of tourists arriving in Iran during the first half of this year. Deputy Minister of Tourism, Ali Ashgar Shalbavian, Saeed, Iran received more than 4,168,000 tourists in the last 6 months, bringing in about $4 billion. He added, most of the tourists entering Iran are from Iraq, Afghanistan, Turkey, Pakistan, Azerbaijan, Armenia, India, the Gulf states, China and Russia, respectively. Parliamentary Committee talks about economic reform law. It reached Parliament months ago. Policy, the 17th of October 2024. 172 views. Sumerian News, Politics Expected Committee, Economy, Industry and Trade Parliamentary Committee, voting on the economic reform law during the next few days. He said. Deputy Committee Chairman Yasser al-Husseini said, the law reached the Council months ago. Representatives in general and to committee the economy in particular, and it includes all laws that include the economic aspect, according to the newspaper. The Morning Official. He added, the committee held many workshops at all levels, whether for businessmen or industrial and economic experts. Stressing that, the committee is proceeding with reading the law and work on voting on it during the next stage in cooperation with committee's other specialists. Al-Husseini pointed out that, there are observations, whether from representatives or by experts, and it will be included in a paper prepared alongside the law. Noting that, the committee is determined to vote on it with the available capabilities for what it deems important in the law, which can bring about a major reform in the country's economic reality. He also stressed, the importance of the industrial investment law for the public and private sectors, to accurately diagnose this partnership. Indicating that, the contracts concluded in accordance with the law, it will be beneficial and profitable for both parties. Unlike some contracts that have more negatives than positives in the industrial sector, which oblige the state to long-term, impossible conditions. He continued, the committee is proceeding with voting on the industrial investment law, which is no less important than other laws, despite some objections that have prevented voting on it so far. Stressing that, the final stage of voting has been reached after consensus was reached between the political blocs objecting to its wording. Kurdistan Finance deposits more than $77 billion in non-oil revenues into Baghdad Treasury. Local, October 16, 2024. Mawazin News, Baghdad. The Ministry of Finance and Economy in the Kurdistan Regional Government announced today, Wednesday, the transfer of more than 77 billion dinars to the federal treasury from the region's non-oil revenues. The ministry indicated in a statement received by Mawazin News that an amount of 77,841,761,000 dinars was transferred to the bank account of the Federal Ministry of Finance at the Central Bank of Iraq, Erbil branch. It continued, this amount represents the share of the general federal treasury from the non-oil revenues of the Kurdistan region of Iraq for the month of June. The trial period for raising the prices of improved gasoline has ended, and the amount of revenues is absent. The 17th of October 2024. By Sotalarak, the Iraqi government seems to be hesitant about the public outrage if it reveals the results of raising the prices of improved gasoline, especially since the pilot plan ended more than a month ago, which indicates that there are hidden obstacles behind the issue, according to observers. On March 26, 2024, the Council of Ministers voted in a session chaired by Mohammed Shia al-Sudani to increase the price of improved gasoline from 650 dinars per liter to 850 dinars per liter, and premium gasoline from 1,000 dinars to 1,250 dinars per liter, starting from May 1 for a period of 3 months, after which the situation will be re-evaluated. According to expert estimates, Iraq lost approximately 3 trillion Iraqi dinars on importing improved gasoline, which is the value of government support for improved gasoline, during 2023, stressing that these numbers have been the same for years. The government has not yet received the evidence. And Iraqis have strongly criticized the decision to increase fuel prices, considering that this step is sufficient to raise the prices of all materials in the markets. Speaking of numbers, the Oil Products Distribution Company said, July 16, 2024, that it sold about 977 million liters of gasoline, improved, regular, and super, during the month of June of this year, without disclosing the financial returns from these numbers. In this regard, economic expert Nabil Jabbar al-Tamimi believes that Iraq's imports of petroleum derivatives have increased over the past 4 years. As a result of the increase in consumption and the growing demand for fuel, high-octane improved, that local refineries do not provide. Al-Tamimi says that annual fuel imports have reached about $3 billion, which is a large number and unreasonable for a country considered one of the largest oil producers to import gasoline at these numbers. The latest government move came months ago, according to Al-Tamimi, as a bold step to raise the prices of some petroleum derivatives by 20 to 30%. Stressing that this step was accompanied by the government's opening of the Karbala refinery, and also the return of production lines in the Bybit refinery. This year, the Iraqi government reopened the northern refinery in Bybit in Salah al-Din Governorate after rehabilitating it, following its closure for more than 10 years.
It also announced at the end of last year the opening of the Karbala oil refinery with a production capacity of 140,000 barrels per day, including improved gasoline.
Al-Tamimi added, these refineries were able to cover a large percentage of imports, which amounted to 15 million liters per day, adding, such a step may contribute at the end of the year to saving large amounts of money that go to imports, provided that the government makes reforms to the laws of public companies, including oil refining and distribution companies, to increase the Treasury's share of these revenues. That came as a result of government steps to establish new refineries and open production lines, in addition to setting a new price for oil derivatives. A few days ago, the Ministry of Oil issued a new statement about improved gasoline, confirming that Iraq will achieve self-sufficiency in improved gasoline next year, while confirming that it has achieved self-sufficiency in gas oil and kerosene products. The decision to raise gasoline prices will continue for a long time. According to Nabil al-Marsomi, an economics professor in Basra, the cost of importing improved gasoline in 2022 is 1,700 dinars per liter, while the cost of importing regular gasoline is 900 dinars per liter, indicating that the state is losing money on all types of gasoline. In contrast, Mustafa Hantoush, an economic researcher, says, the government is currently unable to restore the price of improved gasoline to what it was before, except after exports stabilize at the new Bybit and Karbala refineries. According to Hantoush, Iraq is still heavily dependent on importing improved gasoline, as local production cannot meet the large and growing need in the Iraqi market. Hantoush continues, saying, the Iraqi citizen is the one most affected by the decision, given that raising the price of fuel always leads to raising the prices of all food and non-food items in the markets in general. Regarding the possibility of raising prices again, Hantoush expects that the government is not currently considering such a step, stressing that the current prices of both improved and regular gasoline will remain like this for a long time. According to readings by economic experts, the government has been providing support of up to 20% of the value of improved and super gasoline over the past years, which has placed a burden on the financial budget. Iraq consumes between 27 million and 31 million liters of gasoline per day, while production is about 50% of the market's need, according to experts. Iraq has also imported gasoline and gas since 2003 until now at a cost of about $70 billion, and it also imported 26 million liters of gas oil per month. Iraq's 2025 budget returns to the forefront, so what are the demands? In video the 17th of October 2024, 2025 budget demands to prepare a realistic formula for next year's budget tables. About the general budget tables for the year 2025. Amid demands for the necessity of preparing them realistically, with the possibility of investing the surplus in preparing the next year's budget to create economic comfort. Follow this full report on Al-Samaria. Link. Petroleum products. The percentage of imports of derivatives decreased to 50%. October 16, 2024 Mawazin News. Economy. The oil products distribution company confirmed on Wednesday that the government's plans have contributed to reducing the percentage of oil derivatives imports to 50%, indicating the date for ending the import file completely. The Director General of the Oil Products Distribution Company, Hussein Tlaib, said, "The state was spending approximately $4.5 billion annually on importing products such as gasoline, gas oil and kerosene, and this spending is gradually decreasing with the continuation of projects aimed at achieving self-sufficiency." He added, "Last year witnessed intensive follow-up to complete the stalled projects in the Ministry of Oil within the ministry's policy and the government program of the current government, as the ministry has set a program within a time plan to complete these projects." He pointed out that the most important project completed at the end of 2023 is the Karbala refinery project, which is considered a major source of local products, as it refines approximately 140,000 barrels of crude oil per day, with products that conform to global marketing specifications, including Super 95 octane gasoline, gas oil, kerosene and all other products. He continued, "Operating the Karbala refinery and completing the refining projects in the northern region has reduced the import of petroleum derivatives and ended the import of gas oil and kerosene, and reduced the import of improved gasoline from 15 million liters to 7 million liters per day, or 50%. He stressed that the Ministry of Oil is working to completely end the import of petroleum derivatives by 2025. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: Dinar Recaps.